Hey, welcome back, everyone. Good to see so many of you there. Sorry, I'm a few. Oh no, I'm on time. I'm on time today. Something came up. I had to take care of it. I was gonna try to start early. Uh, Dude, no way. Roxas, thank you so much, man. That is awesome. I really appreciate that a lot. Welcome to the membership. We'll get you into uh, the members channel there on the Discord server. I like to put out some things that are going to come out like a night or two before, or what I'm working on, or maybe a war fight or things like that. And that's great. Thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. I can't express that enough. Welcome, Tom. Roxas, you're here early. Rob, what's up, man? Chilling at work on your iPad. You got 40 minutes to spare. That's awesome. All right. Sandu, hi. You're in class watching. All right. Make sure you pay attention to class, though. That stuff is important. It is important. Kingslayer, what's up, buddy? How are you? How are you doing? And Roxas, again, I just appreciate it so much. Thank you. Thank you for joining. It's a big deal for me. I hope that's coming through. I hope you can tell. Wet Noodle, Thundergun, and Devil Dog, what's up? And Christian, I think I'm saying it, Christian Lopez. Hello from Argentina. Thank you so much for checking in, buddy. I appreciate that. We're gonna work through the monthly event quest today. This is really my first look at the new nodes and things like that. I did science yesterday. It wasn't too bad. I know a lot of people don't like it. They don't like the change. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for the most part. Mainly because I think my spider ham worked really well with it, building up those furies. And then Cap Infinity War. Cap Infinity War was really great for me with the 4-star challenge, just because he can take the abuse. He can take the abuse, and I think I accidentally did the non-easy lane. So he was great for, was it Doom? And I had him with the synergies for it. So I was having to take the Doom, and he was applying, I think it's the Petrify, right? That prevents Doom from going into his that aura. I can't think of what that's called right now. I can't believe it. He's my favorite champion in the game, and I can't think of what the name of the aura is. Elliot, how are you doing? Richard Belding, hello from the country of Texas. You like the what new? Do you like the tech node most? Warlock is fun. Oh, cool. I love playing Warlock. Hazareth Aura of Hazareth. Thank you so much for the reminder. It was really bothering me. I couldn't remember. I'm like, he is my favorite champion of the game, or at least he's the one that comes to mind when anyone asks me for my absolute favorite. So we're going to jump into that. I don't know if anyone's had a chance to see the video today. I've gotten quite a few questions on who are all my rank 3s, so we'll take a look at that really quickly. I do have an account tour video that's not outdated yet, but we'll check a look at this very, 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 very quickly. I just brought someone else up. And so here they are. Chris, thank you so much for showing up. I really appreciate it. So there they are, right? And like I said, my favorite is Dr. Doom. Silver Surfer, I do think he's a quality champion, but he was brought up for prestige. He was a prestige champion for me. Sunsot, I really enjoy. In fact, I used him in a couple lanes there in Act 7 that I don't think he was necessarily someone that you would initially think of as being great for it, and he was. It was the last chapter, I believe. Maybe we could go over that in a stream one day. That would be fun. Guardian, I love using Guardian, and I'm so happy I put the 6 stones into him. Thing was a defensive rank up. You can see he's on defense for us today. I think he's going to be the boss. I think he's going to be the boss in our war that starts today, so I'm excited for that. Cap Infinity War, he was an early rank up. He was an early rank 3 for me. I was still working my way through Abyss, and then I duped and awakened Thing with Abyss rewards at the time, and Thing became my Science 6 Stone person or champion, and for prestige reasons. And then going through there, Aegon saw me through Abyss. Kingpin is very recent for me. Hopefully you've seen that video. I really like this guy. I think he's a lot of fun. He's not going to be a top shelf champion though for me. I just don't see that. But he's up there. He's up there. I think Stealth Spidey is still a better champion, probably overall, especially because Kingpin needs to have Hood in order to take those debuff lanes. But he does dominate those debuff lanes when you have him. You know, Archangel, Dragon Man. And then the video today was on Abomination. It's just a real quick look through as to why I ranked him up and a couple fights there. And then, of course, Human Torch, Apocalypse, and then Spider-Ham, who I do still want to get a video out on. He's a lot of fun. And I think he can do a lot of cool things. I think he's fun, though. I don't see him becoming the next war meta champion or, your go-to if there's a science quest. You're like, oh, I got to get Spider-Ham in there. But he's good. He's quality. I think he can do a lot of fun stuff. Benny, what's up? Thank you for stopping by. Henry, Kabam finally gave us ISO for events. Yeah, that's true. So many people have written in videos lately. So a lot of the comments have been, I want to rank up this champion, but I don't have the ISO for it. And that's honestly, that sucks, right? Like the rewards, that's something we can budget for, we can work through, we can see, hey, there's a quest, like how can we get more, tier 1 alpha or whatever. And the ISO is just, I don't know. Of all the things that bother me when people don't have enough to rank up a champion, it's ISO that bothers me the most. Sup, Vega, is Sorcerer Arthi worthy? Most definitely. Sorcerer Supreme? Most definitely. She is awesome. Wet Noodle, thanks. I love when the chat gets to questions. Wet Noodle, and you are a veteran of the chat, so thank you. Alexis, you're new. Oh, all right, well, welcome. And thank you so much for stopping by. Henry, exactly. Yeah, dude, it just sucks. Like when I put out, I think it was the Kingpin video. I'm like ranked in Kingpin. I was so excited. I kind of ranked him. I did rank him up before the buff went live, and it was for fun. It was for a fun video. And I was like, if he's good, he's good. And if he's not, it is what it is. And then I put out the rank 3 video of him actually like demolishing Act 7. And I think there was at least 4 commenters, or at least it felt like it, who said, I'd love to rank Kingpin, or I'd love to rank this champion, but I just don't have the ISO for it. I don't know. That bothered me. Rob, ranked for my Cosmic Ghost Rider. I just need a tier 5B and he'll be ranked 5. Dude, congrats. You posted that on the Discord recently, that your pull, right? I remember you had an awesome pull. I think it was Cosmic Ghost Rider. That was awesome. That is awesome. I hope you're loving him, dude. He's so much fun and way better. I knew he was good when I first got my hands on him. I was like, this guy's obviously good. But he's even better than I thought he was going to be. So... Adam Johnston just got your 6-star rank 3. Dude, that's incredible. That's awesome. There's no reason anyone needs 19 of them right now. It's ridiculous. You just saw it. And, if you watch enough streams, you watch enough videos, how many am I actually using? I place 5 on defense. I use 3 in AQ, and then a quest. It's fun. I like it. I like having them, but no one needs them. Starinsky. What's up, buddy? Thanks for stopping by. You're the score, dude. That's awesome. All right, cool. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining the stream and the Discord. User not found. Hey, Vega. Hey, what's up? User not found. And you're watching the first stream. Thank you so much. Welcome. And speaking of which, we should probably get into this. Rob, I chose him over Doom for rank 4. Dude, he's fun, and I could definitely understand that. Doom is. I love Doom. But I get it with Cosmic Ghost Rider. He's up there for me in fun, and obviously the damage and quality, well in that conversation of the best Cosmic champions in the game. So, all right. Let's go ahead and jump into this. Spitefire, what's up? How are you doing? All right, so let's go ahead and look at this. I'm going to need to get familiar. I'm going to need to familiarize myself again with these nodes. What do we got here? So it's tech. When a tech attacker inflicts the defender with an armor break, he also inflicts heal block. All right. Tech attackers gain indefinite passive fury, increasing attack rating by when the all right, so yeah, I can see why you were saying that Warlock is going to be great for it. All right, so it looks like Warlock is definitely the guy. Mysterio might be fun there, right? And then let's go ahead and actually look at these lanes here. Okay. And then what does this boss do? If either champion's not made contact, they're going to get a shock. Any champion inflicted with the shock debuff lands guaranteed critical hits. So do we want the shock then or not? This is a weird one. Has anyone done this? And do you know if you want the shock or not? How bad is the damage from it? 50% of their own base health. Huh. Interesting. And then Hurt Locker. Okay. Work, you never bothered getting the shock. Who do you suggest I bring in for that? Raider661, what's up? But dude, how are you feeling, man? How are things going? I hope you are doing well. Thought about you quite a few times over the last few days. Wet Noodle used Guardian for the boss, brought Doom for safety, but never used him. Okay, well, I think we'll be able to put together a decent team here for this. We'll bring Doom and Guardian and Warlock, as we said. And then I don't mind having an overpowered team here. It's not bad. I solo cleaned the 4-star ghost and took a couple of ticks of shock. Okay. What's up, Mega Farts? How you doing? Okay. And then I don't think I saw anyone else that's like real big trouble on the lane there. We'll just bring in Magneto. Hopefully we don't run into anything crazy. Sabby, yeah, you know, so that's just with YouTube, right? With the notifications, it just is what it is. I don't like it too. You know, like I enjoy certain channels, and I'll see that like they posted a video, but I didn't get a notification of it, or when I go to subscriber, it's not there. I have no idea how that all works. I really don't. But I know that's why so many of the YouTubers, you know, they'd have that part where it's like, and remember to hit notifications, because it's like, well, at least maybe it'll help. Mega Farts, yeah, I was being sarcastic. I think this team should be fine. Let's see if there's something they can't handle. There might be. We might find it. We might find something they can't do. You never know. Especially because I'm bad at remembering all the nodes. All right. I see why Warlock works, though. So we'll just play a Warlock and have a good time. Use Stealthy for this quest. Ah, okay. Well, already missing parry, so we're off to a great start. Might be time to sit up straight in the chair. All right. There we go. If I remember correctly, that's basically all we needed, was to get that going. And I think there was something about armor breaking in there too. And I do not have suicides on because I just placed war defense, I think last night. So, Roxas, yeah, you know what? That's a great point. Thanks for bringing that up. Stabby, we do have a notification when I post a video. And, you know, I do like one a day, if that. You know, sometimes there's a stream. So sometimes it is 2 notifications. I try not to overwhelm people with notifications. But, yeah, we do have a channel set up for that in the Discord. And there's a lot of really smart players on there answering questions all the time. I've learned a ton from the advice channel and the Discord. Work is there answering questions a lot and dropping a lot of knowledge. Work is just basically playing normally with Warlock. Okay, yeah, I mean that's what that seemed to be. I don't want to take B. B looks like it's the 4-star lane. So let's go to D. I think this is why I brought in Human Torch, if I remember correctly. So we'll go ahead and torch this up. Oh, I should read the node though. Okay, that's nothing too crazy. Henry, is the side quest broken because I didn't chapter 1? No, you know what? A lot of people have been asking that. I guess they're going to release it over time, right? Oh yeah, Mega Farts is answering that. K-Dog, Warlock is so strong. Yeah, Warlock. There's a recent champion that just came out where I was kind of hoping that maybe he had a Warlock vibe. Oh, dude, has anyone gotten a chance to play with their Psycho Man? I got him. I saw that come in, and I had to get to some work. I'm like, oh, I'm going to awaken this guy, take him to Sig 99. I maxed him out. I spent about 10 minutes, and damage does not appear to be his thing. I'm hoping that maybe there's a way to play him that we have not realized, but I was horribly underwhelmed by him. I liked his animations too. But it felt like a ton of work, a lot of trying to pay attention to what you're doing and what's going on in the fight for not a lot of reward. I did not enjoy that. People's Champ, thank you so much for stopping in, buddy. You got some meetings to go to? All right, cool. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And let's go ahead and jump in. Curious to see, though, if anyone really enjoyed their Psycho Man. I forgot to even post that because I think I was just so disappointed. And I will admit, too, that he does seem to have some complexity to him. There is a chance I just was not playing him correctly, but it felt like there was a pretty straightforward way to do damage. And I took him in very, very basic fights. So I wasn't having to worry about, it's not technically a taunt, but it does have to do with enticing the opponent to throw their specials. I didn't have to worry about any of that. I was just doing damage, and it was bad. It was really bad. But I hope I'm wrong. Oh, this might not be such a good idea. That's a pretty nice heal she's getting. All right. Gonna have to be a bit more aggressive. And pay attention to that heal of hers. Probably should have just brought in a better champion for this. Although Torch isn't bad, he's actually quite good. Especially if you don't do that. Gotta get my temperature up. Wow, I'm making this look hard. What's up, MSG? How you doing? So I'd rather not have the same experience on the next fight. If anyone has advice on who was, I think it was Darkhawk coming up, let me know. I'd rather spend this time reading the chat and talking. LK Designs, how's it going? I'm doing well. How are you? Irenal. Yeah, that's how, or Irenal. I'll get that right. I apologize. The Tech Ebony mod, that's how it felt to me too. It felt like there was a lot in there. It was going to be really exciting. And then just an absolute noodle. Just an absolute noodle. But we've had a lot of amazing champions coming out recently. We've had a lot of amazing champions. So I think we're due for a couple not so great. And then, I'm looking at the next featured batch, considering whether I'm going to open it or not. I'm really not sure I am. But Immortal Abomination is going to be in there. Spider-Ham, who I think has a lot of fun and very good, but I don't think it's like a meta-defining champion. And then there's the big one, which is Strife. Strife is going to be huge. Clearly could be great for Abyss. And then I think because of that has the potential to be good in the meta for a very long time. And so I could see it, balancing things out, which to me makes sense in a game like this. Maybe having a champion or two who's fun or good, but not necessarily amazing. So I would not be shocked. Megafarts just use Torch. Yeah, I think that's just what I'll do. Pete Plays, what's up? How are you doing? Thanks for stopping by. You can take Dark Heart slowly with Parry Heavy Warlock or use the specials. Work, use Sentinel and pretty much this whole path. Yeah, I probably should have done something better like that. Well, we'll use Human Torch. The worst thing that happens is we die and have a good laugh about it. Oh, Magneto would have been smart. Oh wait, I haven't entered the fight yet. All right, let's go Magneto. Let's do this. CGR, the best champ of 20. Yeah, I think so. I think. Who would be the other contenders? Immortal Abomination is very good. I'm not kidding when I talk about how much I like him. Did Sorcerer Supreme come out last year? If anyone remembers that. I tend not to remember the years very well. Not going to be a little too far away. Try to get to the SP3 here. Just finish this. So Sorcerer, I would put Sorcerer in there. Cosmic Ghost Rider is probably in general better, but they do different things. Oh, and Work, you're right. How did I forget about Apocalypse? And then, which also means Professor X. So we got Professor X, Apocalypse, I-Bomb, Sorcerer, and Cosmic Ghost Rider. Cosmic Ghost Rider is so fun, though. I mean, he's just satisfying to play. I don't know if I'd be able to choose a best between all of those. Rob, loving the chat while I work, but I'm done at work, so hopefully see you. All right, man. Thank you so much for stopping by. Always love it. And hopefully we'll see you in 25. I plan to still be here, that's for sure. What Noodle? I think the best champs of 2020 are APOC, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Guardian. How did I forget Guardian? Sorcerer Supreme. That'd be a fun video, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I think Cosmic Ghost Rider and Red Mags were the top releases. Yeah, so I think that's interesting too. Do we include Red Magneto in there? Do we include Red Magneto in that? I kind of feel like he's so different that maybe he does deserve to be considered a released champion. Technically, he wasn't, a new release. And you know what I was thinking too with, because I found out about how Black Panther is getting buffed. I was surprised it wasn't Black Panther Civil War, but it's Black Panther's getting buffed. And I got so excited, I thought I'm going to rank him to R3 now. I have a lot of skill resources and not a lot of skill champions that I like. And I thought about it, and fortunately, some of you all, I put it on the YouTube, and then I put it on Discord. A lot of you talked to me off of that, and you're like, dude, just wait, because not all the buffs are going to be amazing. And the one that we always use as example of, they're not all going to be Magneto level. But I thought about it, and I was like, what about Colossus? We've all already forgotten that Colossus was a buff too. Colossus, there are some very smart players who legitimately think Colossus is the best mutant in the game. I don't think he is, but I do think he deserves to be in that top tier. I like tiering them more than I like ranking them. And that was an amazing buff. That was an amazing buff. So I don't know. A lot of the buffs have turned out pretty darn awesome. Magneto was not a special circumstance, I guess, is more what I'm trying to say there with that. Renu, 1 Cosmic Ghost Rider, 2 APOC, 3 Mag, basically new chap. Yeah, more or less. But people are reminding me of I-Bomb and Sorcerer, Guardian, those sorts of things. So I don't know. What new? Gotta say, Professor X has been growing a lot on me. I loved Professor X from the get-go. Like, I got him in those crystals. I was hunting him in Apocalypse. I loved them both. I loved Professor X, and I thought he was amazing. And then, like most things, just moved on, and I ended up taking Apocalypse up first, and then Barrowman and MSD and Agent X have been putting out all those videos. And wow, I mean, Professor X is even better than I realized, way better than I realized. So, yeah, I agree with what K-Dog is saying there. 2020 was a very good year for champions. It did start slow, but man, the finish was very, very, very strong. Very strong. Mega Farts, I hope 5. Oh, you have a 5-star mouse. Dude, he should be good. I mean, I know we can make that argument for any champion in this game. Like, they should be good. But I really, really hope he is. It would make me excited for the science champions. And I don't know. I have my own reasons for really wanting him to be good. And, I think it was, it had to have been Kabam Mike. Wrote that they are thinking about even just redoing his animations. And he was very clear to say that this is not intended to be a leak. This is just something he'd like to see. Okay, so I'm not saying Kabam Mike said this would happen, but that he would even love to have him have some, some abilities that he should have, like invisibility or something of that nature. That would be cool. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. So, in my opinion, if the Miles buff takes a couple months or whatever, and they get it right, they really nail it. So you feel like you're playing the character from the comics or the movies or however you like that champion, that comic book character. I would prefer that, which is part of what I love about Kingpin. Odd segue, I guess, a little bit, but I feel like I'm playing Kingpin. I feel like I'm playing this absolute brawler who doesn't care if you hit him. He's just going to take the abuse, and not only that, he's going to use that abuse in the way of debuffs anyway, and he's going to use that to up his own damage. I love that. I don't know. It's almost hard to separate the fun from how good the champion is. I think when they make the champion that good, when they make you feel like you're playing the character that you've come to enjoy or potentially hate, but feel that way about a lot of villains. That's what makes them great. All right. Definitely seeing why so many of you said Warlock for this quest. All right, let's catch up on Metal Stomp Dude. I don't think he's number 1, but he's at the top of the class. Okay, that's going back. I think maybe you're talking about Professor X. MSG changes his thought on who the best mutants every month. Well, because the mutants are so good, Mega Farts, right? Like, they're so good. Wait, and MSD, do you think it's Colossus? I know I've seen you put out some pretty cool videos with Colossus, but I never really considered, do you think Colossus is the best mutant? Because I was saying, well, maybe you've already answered my question. You've always said Mags is better than Colossus and Omega was overall the best. Got it. Well, you did answer my question. LK Designs, I wanted Omega Sentinel too. So that's who I was voting for. That's who I voted for. Actually, I started off with Okoye, and then when they were eliminated, I went to Omega Sentinel. Mega Farts, I think Red Magneto is so dominant where he's dominant. And I don't necessarily, I believe what I'm saying, but I also really believe, and I'll start trying to make this more clear in my ranking videos, I believe in tiering them. I believe in tiering them. The game is so complex, and there's so many nodes and combinations and synergies that I think it's very rare for a champion to just be definitively, this champion is better than the rest, right? Ghost and Quake, I think, are outliers in a way. And so I really like tiering them. And I think Red Magneto deserves to be in that tier. But I think a champion like Archangel does something very similar to Red Magneto. And that, like, what we like about Red Magneto is he just shuts down metal, right? And you're bringing in these mutants, and that's been the problem, is fighting tech champions in general and metal. And he just destroys that for you. And I feel like Archangel is very similar in that regard, in that if they can bleed and they can be poisoned, Archangel, I think, is even better than Magneto when they're at their peak. Archangel destroys things. He's 4 years old, so I know he's not that exciting. Like, I've put out quite a few videos on him, and they receive nice ratings, or whatever term you would want to use, like a lot of positive comments and thumbs up and things like that. And I love him, so I'll probably keep making the videos on it. But they don't get a lot of views, and I think that's because he's 4 years old. I think we've forgotten how amazing he is. The meta shifted a little bit, and then he's right back to just dominating stuff, turning off nodes, destroying war. It's incredible. So, long answer to a question that wasn't even asked. All right. Samuel, 1 Max, 2 Omega, 3. See, and I can't say you're wrong. I really can't. I respect that. Sabi, Vega, my team is ranked 5. That's 5-star rank for Magic, 5-star rank 3 Venom, maxed out 4-star Blade. Should I try a variant or build my roster? So those questions are always really tough for me. I really believe in trying content out, seeing what you can do, but really make sure you have the mindset of, hey, if this isn't going well, just back out. Just back out and try something else, or try a different champion, or do some arena, or like you're saying, like maybe try a variant, right? The problem is the earlier variants almost seemed more difficult or time consuming. I don't think they're easy now unless you have all the right answers. But, you know, take a look at the content, see what could benefit you, try it out. If it's not working, back out. You know, don't resort to unit man. I do that myself way too often, and it's not a good habit. It's not a good habit. All right. I can see that there's a good conversation happening there. I'm going to try to catch up to it if I can. But that's a habit I developed way early in this game, of resorting to unit man to get through stuff. I had just really started taking the game more seriously right before 12.0 happened. It was probably like 6 months before. It's hard to exactly remember, but I remember being very upset about it. And then we were made aware of all the changes that were coming. And so I blitzed through, I believe it was Act 4 at the time. And maybe it was Act 5. I think it had to have been 4. And that's when I really started just getting to the unit man. And I think that's bad for a couple of reasons. One is, you know, those are resources that could be used elsewhere. And 2, I think it can often prevent you from really learning the game properly. And so I've then spent a bunch of time trying to learn all of these things that I should have learned along the way. So I was in a big hurry to get nowhere, is my point. So I always advise people, don't resort to unit man if you can handle it. But so much of the game is designed for you to potentially do that. So, but we'll get off of that topic a little bit. Let's see, Metal Sonic Dude. The specific situations, mostly those that limit your power, are not the matches where he belongs. So he has his downfalls. Where he works, he dominates. I'm very curious who we're talking about. The damage is meaningless in a ton of situations that limit your playstyle, though. Who are we talking about? He's perfectly rated because you need to know what you're doing in order to perform. Are we talking about? I think we're talking about Professor X. Oh, work in progress. I've got to be one of the very people that thinks Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough conversation to catch up on. I will try to catch up on it though, because if we're talking about CGR work, I do think he has his flaws for sure. When I first got him though, I overestimated those flaws. I definitely did. And I think we're at the point in the game here with its complexity of nodes and defenders and things like that. There just aren't champions that can handle everything anymore. So it's so often about how well does a champion. We're getting a little lag here. How well does a champion, for me anyways, the way I frame the question is, how well does a champion handle a specific scenario, or how well do they handle like a lot of scenarios more generally? And Cosmic Ghost Rider, the answer to that question would be yes. He handles some very specific scenarios amazingly, and he can also handle a lot of more general ones. But you're right. Power. In fact, I want to get a video out on that. There's a war node that I take, and it's one of the ones that starts to really affect your power, but Killmonger's often placed there. And I want to get that out. I fell behind on war videos, and I think it'd be really helpful to people seeing how you can configure Cosmic Ghost Rider. If you play him away, he will absolutely dominate the fight, but if you make one little mistake, there's nothing you can do because you're just not going to gain the power. Even your power gain buff will not get you to the SB2. Killmonger's going to keep healing. You're done. Like, the fight is over, and it's very early in the fight where you have that moment where you can either win the fight or you've completely lost it. It's an interesting thing. What did we say here for this one? Was this a Magneto? It's probably. Go ahead and just Magneto. I got stuck in the Cosmic Ghost Rider conversations, man. And yeah, Mega Farts, you're right. Unit Man will always be there, and he'll always be there tempting you. He's the in the old comics where they had like the little angel on your shoulder and then the devil on the other one. He is definitely the devil tempting you. We could get there quicker. You could get that tier 5 CC faster. And then with RNG being a thing, you're almost definitely not going to get the reward that you needed. Yep, that's the way it works. And to be clear, I don't think that's necessarily bad. I'm one of the few players that actually likes that our progression is slowed down in this game. From what I can tell, designing really fun content is not easy. And it is really awesome when Kabam is able to do it, but it cannot be easy. And so if they slow us down a little bit so we have to slog through some things, I'm very okay with it. I don't like when it's impossible, though. I don't like it when you have to have a roster the size of mine to get through content. That's not fun either. So let's be clear. That's not what I'm saying. I just don't mind when they slow us down a little bit with RNG. All right. Hey, man, do you think that Variant 5 is possible with an R4 Venom 1-star Claire? I never give a unit answer. The reason being is I don't know. I bet you Metal Sonic Dude or Work, from what I can tell, is an excellent player too. Hey, what's up, Z? How are you doing, buddy?
Hey, hi.
How are you? Everyone, this is Z stepping in. I'll answer this.
Stopping by for a second.
Oh, okay. Just saying hello. All right, I'll get back to that then. How are you doing, Z?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. How are you?
Dude, I'm having a great time. Yeah.
Yeah, I finished all my assignments early today, and so I thought, why not stop by and say hello to you and to chat.
Oh, thank you so much for doing that. You got a lot of assignments coming up, right?
At university we have this semester a rule where if we fail an exam, it doesn't count to our maximum cap of exams. We can only attempt each exam 3 times, and we won't get any bad effects if we fail this time. So I'll probably write all the exams I can write. And hence I'll have quite a bunch of things to learn for, but it's been a long day.
Yeah, it would be a long day. And what is it, 7 o'clock for you right now? Or is it 7 or 8?
7 in the evening.
Correct. Yeah. Very cool. So you can take these exams, and it sounds like there's not a high chance of penalty.
No, there's absolutely no penalty. And even if I pass with like a 4, I think it's a D in English, so just passed. I can attempt again to get better, and so even a bad success, so to speak, won't have any bad effects on me. I can only benefit from trying, hence I will try.
Dude, that's so awesome. I love the idea of incentivizing people to just try. And if you make a mistake, try again. Learn from it.
Yeah, and especially due to COVID, it's actually studying from afar. If you're used to study in the university, it's very different. So I think that's a very fair rule of my university that we have the chance at not getting screwed over by this year.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. That's going to be, I mean, I don't know how interested it'll be for the chat, but that's going to be a weird thing for me. I have 2 young kids, and having them, obviously eventually this will be over, the pandemic, and them going back into full on schooling. Like, how is school going to handle that? Because clearly no one is learning all the things that they were supposed to have in a grade year, but they are going to advance. And so what do those teachers do next year? Do they, hopefully they adjust to what they feel like maybe could have been learned that particular year, not this is what was normally learned in that year. If that makes sense. I know it got vague there a little bit.
Yeah. How is this whole situation with school going for you and your family? How can you manage teaching homeschooling? I imagine this is pretty hard to do this. I don't know the age of your children, but I think it's pretty hard to go back to all the stuff you probably haven't done since school.
Dude, it is brutal. So both my kids are grade school age, and actually one's in preschool, and it is so much better for the one who's in preschool because I think it's like city rules, and then also we don't have to deal. There's no teachers union, and don't get me wrong, I actually like unions in general, but the elementary school here are still not open. There's like not even partial schooling. So my oldest child just spends all day on a computer, and then that's why I typically take a break here. Normally, I would take a break in, I think it's about 40 minutes, because I take a break that's timed with her break schedule. Today, I'm not, because my wife is going to be doing it. And it's just hard, because there's also the whole social aspect of school, especially at these very young ages. I mean, I think it's social aspect regardless, no matter how old you are. But it is really, really difficult. Like, this is going to be a thing. Like, the pandemic itself will end, and we will definitely still be dealing with the consequences of it. So it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the children are the ones that the pandemic hits probably the hardest.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm only 21, but I imagine how hard it would have been if that was like in 7th or 8th grade. Where it's so important to have your friends around you, to have a social environment, to learn all the things you need to learn to grow up.
Yeah, even just like simple stuff like jokes, right? Like, a joke from a 10-year-old to another 10-year-old might be hysterical, but to their parent who's trying to quickly eat lunch, not quite as funny. And so just kind of learning those sorts of things too, of, what's acceptable. And, we rely on our friends so much to teach us various things. And that kind of stuff's just not happening as well, right? Like, my wife and I are trying, but we cannot do a great substitute for another 10-year-old.
And I also imagine that it's pretty hard for children to always have their parents around, no matter how great of a parent they are. It still is a bit of a very different and very difficult environment for the child to not have that kind of safety in a way to be somebody else without their parents, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Oh, 100%, right? Because you're not like experimenting as much because your parents like always watching, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not advocating like, terrible behavior. At the same time, I think it's important that we do some things that maybe we wouldn't normally do if our parents weren't watching.
Yeah, and also just the experience of doing some things and realizing their effects. I'm not talking about doing terrible stuff, as you said, but just trying yourself out a bit in a way, if that makes sense, without breaking any laws, of course, but just the experience of getting responsibility, being more responsible for your own life. That all doesn't really happen.
I was so involved in this conversation, I'm realizing just how badly I'm playing right now. We got to get on this a little bit here.
Yeah, I'll leave you alone for
No. In fact, if you don't mind, just keep up with the chat a little bit if you can. I know you said you're only stopping in for a minute.
Yeah, I have the chat in front of me here too. I'll just read a bit. Mephisto without pre-fight, big oopsie.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking too. I don't think this is going to go so well. I'm not enjoying this at all. I got so involved in the chat and talking with Z here about what we were talking about that.
Yo, Vega is I am on ranking up. That I'm economic. And without wanting to answer for Vega, if you look at the video he uploaded right today, it was today, that I saw, I think you'll find his answer there, or maybe he will answer to.
What was the question? Is Immortal Abomination worth ranking?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Game content.
Yes. Immortal Abomination is incredible. I think I'm still in the very beginning stages of learning how to play him properly, and he is still melting things. I like Mysterio, and I'm only comparing them because they both can do big poison damage, but I did not have anyone else who could do poison damage like that. And he's tanky. I think his kit is put together so well. You are constantly applying a weakness debuff on the attacker, and part of his playstyle is to be close to the defender. Sorry, you're constantly applying the weakness to the defender, but part of his playstyle is being close, right? Oh, Sergeant Bourne, thank you for the raid, man. I really appreciate it. And so I think Immortal Abomination is extremely well made. I think he's put together well. I think there is a little bit to mastering him, and I don't think I am there yet, and I still love him. So yes, 100% yes, and doing great things in Act 7. So let's see. Yeah, I totally forgot. I got so involved. So I guess I have a lot of passions in life or what have you. One of them is being a parent. And so anytime parenting stuff comes up and I can talk to my kids, and I learn so much from other people, right? So like the things Z was saying, it just fascinated me. And I don't even know how I was playing a game. So I definitely wasn't paying attention. Rox says, I've got a first grader and my youngest in Head Start. Yeah, it is so much work. Yeah. Keep them on tack. Yeah, dude. I work from home, and I have a very flexible schedule, which is why I'm able to do this. But it is a lot. It is difficult, and we only talked about how it's difficult on the kid side. It is difficult on the kid side, but there's definitely a toll on the parent side too. LK Designs, we were in Washington State. We were just implementing kids going back to school. So I definitely get the struggle. That's great that you're like implementing it though. I mean, it seems, obviously I'm not a scientist or anything like that on these things, but it seems like it can be safely done. I know a lot of the private schools in our area have been doing it with success. So, yeah.
Nathaniel David. I'm definitely pronouncing it wrong. Do you recommend Cap Infinity War 660 or Human Torch Unawakened to R5 as first Science R5?
Wow. Congratulations. Z, I'll answer it and then I'll do the little gameplay. I would say Torch, because a lot of Cap's great utility comes from that super high sig. He doesn't have to have it to be good, but the super high sig, that sig 200, it's so reliable, and that's what allows you to configure him to so many different things. Human Torch doesn't even really need to be awakened. I did Abyss with an unawakened Human Torch. And make sure you solo the Mephisto and use the pre-fight, not like me. But aside from that, you'll be just fine with a rank 5 unawakened Human Torch when you go to do Abyss. So I would say Human Torch.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. And judging from the part of it that it's his first Science rank 5, I'm just assuming you don't have that great of access to 6 stones. So Cap Infinity War would stay significantly below 200 for quite some time. And that's part of why I would go with Human Torch more too. Because that's personal preference from me, but I personally wouldn't invest that many 6 stones in Cap Infinity War. Because I, for myself, have champions that I'd rather invest them to, like Guardian, Aegon, or even Doom. But that's just personal preference. And yeah, the 200 with Cap Infinity War is quite the cap to what's needed. So Human Torch probably can do a lot for you.
Rob, John, dude, I'm so glad you're able to stop by, buddy. We'll be going for a while too. I don't think we'll be ending here in 10 minutes like we often do. The break I usually take with my daughter, my wife's going to be doing that today. Rob is saying, back in just to say I am a key worker. Oh, okay. Because I work in school in the food industry. 4 of my 4 go to school. There are 5 to 6 kids in class. In each class, all are so it's working out. If I'm understanding you correctly, it's working out, and how, like, I don't want not to get too personal. And Rob, if you're not comfortable answering, I appreciate, maybe you can even DM me on Discord. Like, are you noticing like a big benefit to your kids? And because my child that goes to preschool, we noticed an almost immediate benefit when they reopened. Like almost an immediate, just how she handled things. Was just more like the child we had come to know. I feel like I'm missing a couple of the questions here because some of the comments are not making sense to me.
Yeah, I also see a question regarding Morningstar rank 5. Maybe I'll just read it out. Tools Morningstar to R5. And she is awesome. What do you think of her?
What do I think? Go. Yeah, I'd like to hear what you think.
I love Morningstar. I have always loved her from when she came out. It took me a while to get her as a 5-star. But I recently did one of those resistor paths. And I got to compare my rank 4 Morningstar to my rank 1 6-star Longshot. And I must say that Morningstar absolutely destroys. And Morningstar probably is the champion with the highest damage output on the special 2. For me, she did significantly more damage than Longshot did on a resistor path. At least in most of the fights. And yeah, if you have a champion, an opponent with a lot of buffs, she's probably the perfect champion, except the nodes block her. And that being combined with her whole soul mechanic and the way she can heal up like crazy just from hitting the opponent, I really love Morningstar. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you summed it up well. I will admit that when she came into the game, Not that I'm an amazing player now. I don't ever profess to be that, but I was a particularly not very good player, and I really struggled at ramping her up. And so as a result, I was immediately very turned off by her. As I've improved at the game and I understand it better, I see how great she can be. And I know for folks who enjoy incursions, she's incredible in them, just because of the way that content works out and things like that. And then you brought up great points about the healing and then resistor nodes and things like that. So when she's great, she is. Sometimes there's no one better. In fact, I believe B. Manny in my alliance and someone else in my alliance used her last season to take down Apocalypse war bosses. They were able to ramp her up and do it. So she's still very much in the meta of the game at high-end levels. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think the ramping her up can sometimes really be a bit of a pain.
Yeah.
Especially where she doesn't work at all, I think, is if you have energy resistance on the opponents.
Yeah.
Depending on if the opponent has a lot of buffs or not, you'll probably be using her special 2 and her special 1 to do damage. SP3 obviously to get the souls up. But with energy resistance, neither of them do significant damage. And Morningstar's basic damage output without her specials is just bad. I think there's no other word to put it. It's bad.
So aside from not using the pre-fight there, this hasn't been too bad. I mean, again, I realize I'm taken in a roster full of rank 3s.
I also see Rob has just answered. My 3-year-old girl loves school, and yeah, she's thriving more when at school than at home. The others are older, and they just got on with their work.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is I think pretty much confirming what you said. And just out of curiosity, is it common in the States that kids go to school with 3 years already?
Yeah, the preschool. Yeah.
Oh.
I think so, right? I mean, it's so hard, right? Because the US is so huge that even like in the same state, you'll have totally different culture. Like California could literally be 3 different states, probably even 4, if you include like a coastal versus a more inland. And so they'll have like different rules and then also just cultures on how they do things. But in general, yeah, my kids, I think, were both in some sort of schooling at 3.
Oh, that's quite interesting because kindergarten in Germany is till the age of 6. And kindergarten literally is just playing and just about social interaction. And not really about learning, rather than learning a bit of your own body with your hands and this kind of stuff. And a bit of social interaction.
Oh wow, this is a really short lane. This is weird.
I just got called for dinner, so I'm very sorry to be leaving you already.
No.
It was a pleasure being on. Thank you very much. And yeah, have a nice evening, guys. You too, Vega. And thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks so much for stopping by, Z.
Bye.
I saw the question. I just didn't want to interrupt. That was Z. He and I got to know each other really well when I first started the channel. I don't even remember how exactly, but he asked me if I would like a few graphics designed based on some videos I had made. I think Variant 5 had recently come out, and he made some really great graphics for him. Put them out there, and then we just got to know each other through that. And then when we finally started streaming, I asked a few people if they wouldn't mind being on call with me from time to time, and he said he was happy to do that. and share some knowledge and read chat and stuff like that. So that was Z. He's an awesome guy. I think I saw a couple questions in there. He is in Germany, and I think he even said that he was in Germany. All right, Sarge, board, kids need the social. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. EC, I'm in London. School's just online. It's been like this for 2 months and at least another 2. Wow. Let's see. Lou's got a question here. Hey, I can bring a mutant to rank 4, and my options are Storm, Pyramid X, Sunspot, and Gambit. I already have Havoc. I see EC already said Sunspot. I would agree with Sunspot there. He I think his best attribute is Prestige, just because it's so good. Oh, well, we're talking about 5 stars, aren't we? I still think Sunspot. I think he's the best champion out of that group. The perfect block, and then the massive damage is a really, really big deal. Rob, my 3-year-old girl loves school, and she's thriving more when at school than at home. My others are older, and they just get on with their work. Yeah. I mean, so my youngest is older than 3, but I think it might be a similar scenario there. And you are in the nursery. Yeah, I think there might have been a little bit there too with Z there when I was talking about preschool, and he was talking about kinder. There's probably another name for it or something like that. Captain Dante, the online school for younger kids is basically worth this. Dude, could not agree more. My wife and I are opting for having my kids homeschool, and they're doing great. Oh, that's awesome. That's really awesome. 3-year-old preschool. Yeah, I couldn't imagine putting my 3-year-old in front of a computer and being like, okay, good luck. I mean, I get that some parents have to do it, right? That's the scenario we're in. Marcel, you're from the Czech Republic. Oh, cool. Thank you so much for being here. John, did you see Crytomex? The one where he just is destroying in-game bosses, John? Is that the one? I mean, Mike, let's keep in mind, Mike liked Mole Man before the buff went live. So you can only imagine how he feels now that the buff is actually live. Rob, learning to read and write are not strict rules. It's just how the child reacts to the teacher's suggestions. Yeah, that's also true. I just got to imagine it's got to be incredibly difficult for anyone who works in schools or any teachers. Like, it's not like they knew this was going to happen too. They weren't trained for, well, here's how you do this online. I don't know. Just, we're all doing our best, right? Megafarts, just saw the leg video on R3 Falcon. I'm pretty impressed. Too bad I don't have. Really? He took his Falcon to R3? I'll definitely check that out. He's on my list of potentials. Man Falcon. Man Falcon, thanks so much for being here, man. I'm sorry if you chatted and I missed it earlier. Yeah, your children sound like they have 2 awesome parents. Good on you. Yeah, we're thank you, Man Falcon. We're doing our best, just like everyone else out there. We're doing our best. We're trying our best to be aware of what everyone's facing, while also just facing the stuff ourselves. So, yeah, it's a thing. It is a thing. Get this fight going and then catch up on some chat there. Oh, cool. So this is one of those where we gain the unstoppable. Oh, forgot about the unstoppable portion. All right, there we go. Hey, Vega, I will be doing my first Abyss run. All right, dude, congratulations. Run in the next days. I'm planning on bringing 6-star rank 3 Doom, max 5-star Aegon, Human Torch, and Symbiote Supreme. Who would you take in the 5th spot? Crazy. My question is, why Doom and Symbiote? I know Symbiote Supreme can take some of the Doom fights better than Doom can. Is that what you're doing there? You're just kind of like maximizing your situation on those two. I always used my Nick Fury for the Invisible Woman. I know Aegon can do the fight though, so if you're really comfortable with Aegon doing that, go with that. And then in those scenarios, I would take someone. Who did people use? I think it was like Heimdall. I think folks use. Sometimes if they had just like a pure flex spot, they used a synergy or something like that to save some items and things like that. Captain Dante, learn your letters via YouTube. Yeah, basically, right? Noah, what's up? Thanks so much for coming by, man. Michael Thomas, huge fan. Oh, I hope you mean of me. If not, I'm going to take it as a compliment anyway. Weapon X to rank 3 or keep for meme. So I know some people who have Weapon X at rank 3. And we have not gotten into deep discussions on it, but I have more than once in a general chat, right? So with all the people in the alliance or whatever, I've seen more than once a person say they regret taking him to rank 3. So just for what it's worth, but if you've got him, and it is fun. He's not bad, right? So it's fun. Just kind of, I would keep that in mind. But again, remember, you're talking to the guy who took Kingpin to rank 3 before the buff went live because I thought it would be fun. So I often err on the fun side of things sometimes. Man Falcon, preschool, kindergarten, playgroup, play center, creche, all the same, and it has been proven to set up kids better. Yeah, could not agree more. You know what? So if anyone has had a dog and had them since like they were puppies. Like that's one of the things, right? Like you don't want to take a puppy away from its pack, from its mom and its pack, its litter mates too early. And the reason is like, puppies make all those noises and they bite each other and they look like they're fighting, but they're playing. And the reason is because they're teaching each other like, okay, that bite was too hard. And that's why they'll yelp and things like that. And like, kids aren't exactly like puppies, but it applies in the sense of like they learn from each other. We all do, but they teach each other like, okay, you just pushed me too hard, or your joke hurt my feelings, or no, I don't want to trade my gummy bears for your apple. Those sorts of things. Like, and they can do it safely. Where when it comes from a parent, like it just feels like a criticism, right? And so, yeah. For me, kids are like puppies. Yeah. Anyways, mega farts. Yeah, can you believe Dreamin is a teacher? That is wild. I remember when I learned that, and yet it made sense. I had a math teacher that was very similar like that. Obviously I was in high school, so the guy probably wasn't nearly as old as I thought he was. But boy, did he seem ancient. But just real dry, not necessarily mean, but there wasn't a lot of sugarcoating anything from this guy. And you know what? I kind of loved him. I kind of loved him for it. Like, there's a bit of a when a person's hard on you, but they're being honest and they have like your best. They're trying to do the best for you, but they're hard on you. It's like a great coach. Like for those of you who've played sports or music or anything like that required a coach who had knowledge. Like when they're tough on you, it doesn't necessarily feel good, but when you realize they're trying to get the best version of you out, because there's a difference between being hard on someone and being mean to them. It's a thin line, and a lot of it is if the student knows that you're why you're doing it. I think like what's the intention behind it. It's like sarcasm's just mean if the person doesn't realize you're being sarcastic, but if they realize you're being sarcastic, it can be quite funny. And so I kind of feel like that with like teachers and things like that. Anyways, Rob, on another note, is Night Thrasher ever getting a buff? I don't think so, buddy. I would be really surprised if Night Thrasher got a buff. As much as I would like it because I like Night Thrasher, I just don't see it happening because I think he's legitimately pretty good. The high SIG level is important for him. And so I think there's a little bit of a cost barrier there as far as using those resources. But I would love it if he got a buff. He also got some nice synergies that buffed his damage and things like that with some fairly new champions that came out. All right. I gotta pay attention here, or I'm gonna get destroyed by this juggernaut. Yep. Okay. Let's get out of the corner. That is not a fun place to be with Juggernaut. And then we get the unstoppable. Let's turn this fight around. All right, there we go. Okay. Well, hope he's nice to the kids. I wonder with that. Dreamin' comes up so much. That's been one of the really interesting things about moving to 4 Loki was just how many of you all know them all. Know so many of the characters. It feels like I've known Dreamin'. We didn't know each other well, but he, if you know DLL, and I always introduce him as like the leader of the very first real serious alliance I ever joined. Dreamin' was in that alliance, and he was my BG leader for like 2 weeks, and I think he's a good dude. I think he understands the difference between being mean and being being hard on someone. And so I think he jokes around with people who can take it. But I also think he's being honest too. I don't know. It'd be interesting. He's one of the people that, if there's Comic-Con this year, that I'm really looking forward to meeting and seeing what he's like in person. All right. Bruh, films. To be honest, the cab EQ changes seem worse than the original ones. I don't like it. What about you? I didn't mind Science. I kind of liked it, but I think so much it's going to have to do with your roster. I liked it because it really benefited my Spider Ham. I was able to get those Furies and things like that. So far, tech, it's always different too if I'm streaming versus if I'm just sitting in my chair playing. Right now, I'm enjoying talking with everyone, and so I'm forgetting about the nodes. So it seems a little more complicated than it needs to be. But I think if I wasn't streaming, this wouldn't seem complicated at all. But at the moment, I'm definitely relying on my roster to just kind of power through it. So I don't know. I know a lot of people aren't enjoying it, though. The 4-star challenge didn't necessarily feel hard. It just felt like it took a long time. But I think I took the wrong lane too. I had a Doom fight in there, and there was another defender that was, considered to be a relatively hard defender. Crazy G, I watched some videos, and many people said Sin Supreme was better for some fights and Doom better for the others. That's why I'm taking both, and I don't have Nick. All right, well, if you don't have Nick, that's fine. Aegon can take the Invisible Woman fight, and that's definitely true. I know people that took Symbiote Supreme. In particular, I think it was the Captain Marvel movie fight. I went through Abyss, so just so you know, I did Abyss, and I got a Legends run on that, and I was really early in on that. So I did it, and there were even changes to the Abyss while I was in it. If I remember correctly, I had used Archangel to take out the Killmonger, but then I think at some point they updated it or they fixed it, and you couldn't reduce his ability accuracy, if I'm even remembering that correctly. But I remember being very frustrated. I was in the Abyss. I had to go to bed, so I turned off the game. And then the next morning I woke up, or then by the time I got back to it, the fix had been made. So, yeah. But some of those fixes worked out in our favor. If you guys remember, at that time, there was a bug where Invisible Woman would heal up to full. Like you'd be winning the fight, you'd almost have it down, and then she would just heal up to full. I don't even remember why she would, but there was some weird interaction. So yeah, so the point of that was, I think Symbiote Supreme, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Maybe it'll save you some items, and then just bring in a synergy. I remember I brought Mr. Fantastic a few times. No, it wasn't him. It was whoever gives the armor break to Doom on the heavies. I used to bring those in, and then for a couple of paths, it was not necessary to do it, but I brought in both Human Torch and Void. I liked having them both. There's a couple of fights where you really need one or the other, but it's very similar to what I think you're doing here with Doom and Symbiote Supreme. Stabby, you just realized how easy it is to dex Psycho. Yeah, it must be a thing though. I haven't gotten to him yet, obviously, but I've seen a couple of videos on that, and so I'm realizing it must be a thing. It doesn't look easy, so that's cool that you got it. Glister Contest Man. What's up? Thanks for stopping by. Michael Thomas, thank you. Just saying you have a TV radio voice. Laughing about, I say that as a comment. Okay, thank you. Yeah. You know what's funny is the very first stream I ever did, I was getting over a cold or something. And so my voice was a lot deeper than it really is. And a lot of people complimented me on it. And I kept saying, like, that's not how I really sound. Trust me. Yeah, the new science node just hurts you. Well, yeah, and I realize how new Spider Ham is. Not a lot of folks are going to have Spider Ham. But it was a nice benefit to him. I think I think I saw people complaining about the skill one too. So I'm not looking forward to that. I kind of liked the skill one, how it was. So rarely evade that SP2 or get the chance to, but it's not that bad. Can just do a little scary damage because that the dot afterwards. I think I heard a something there, some sort of alert. We'll get to that in a minute. The last thing I want to do is die to a sentinel with red Magneto. I think our friend Dreamin, who we were just talking about, might get an eye on that, and I will never live that down. We got a new subscriber. Thank you so much, Naveen. I appreciate that. All right, let's catch up on a little chat. My roster is Max Awaken, Nick Fury 4-star, 5-star Havoc, rank 3 5-star Guardian at R2, 4-star World. All right, well, those are great champions to have ranked up. If there was a question in there, don't feel badly asking it again. I always ask people not to spam, but don't feel badly asking a question more than once. It's a good chance I just missed it. Man Falcon as well said, puppies, kids, and the criticism thing. You're very smart and forward. I'm trying, Man Falcon. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Thanks, and yeah, he's definitely fun to play. Rob, oh, got it. We're going back to Night Thrasher. Yep. Benjamin, what's up? Work in progress stream is great. Always one of my favorites there. Yeah, I think so. Like, I think just keeping in mind who he is. Like, in general, I'm a very nice person, and I'm very nice to him. He doesn't make fun of me. And so I think that he's not a hypocrite. He's not a hypocrite. He doesn't just like dish it out to people, and then if you give it back to him, he gets all upset. I think he just knows his relationships, and I think he's honest. And sometimes I think he's trying to be funny. It's funny how much he comes up, though. Such a character. It would be different if he could only dish it and not take it. Okay, that's funny because you just said what we're saying the same thing. I think, John, you're thinking the science chapter is better than it used to be. Yeah. All right, so I think we're done with this. I'm not going to do the 4-star challenge. I do find talking and playing at the same time to be a bit of a challenge. And so I'd rather have someone on call if we're going to do the 4-star challenge, or at least be prepared for it. I would want to have thought it through before I go in. So maybe we'll do that. That could be fun to stream the 4-star challenge if it comes up. But we'll move on to the next one here. Let's see here. Man Falcon, okay, gotta go. Dude, thanks so much, Man Falcon. Take care, buddy. Hope to see you soon. Saying bye to Falcon. Q, yeah, the Mr. Fantastic gives armor break. Okay, so it was Mr. Fantastic. I don't know why I was thinking of Annihilus. I was thinking Annihilus. That must be a different synergy. I don't remember what it does. But yeah, so I remember bringing in Mr. Fantastic too. Probably could have used the pre-fights a few times. Crazy G, I also got a rank 2 Void. Would you you were bringing in Human Torch though? And again, Abyss was so long for me that I can't off the top of my head remember what the easy path was. But if there's more than one fight that Void and Human Torch could do, like Void would be superior for, then yeah, I did that. I know I did that for at least 2 paths. My phone deleted my notes on Abyss, which really bothers me. It would have been really nice to have had them. Elsa Bloodstone is great for the skill quest. All right, Roxas. All right, are we on the skill one now? No, we're on Cosmic. So who did folks use for the Cosmic quest? Each time the defender gains a permanent armor up. Every 3 seconds, the defender gains a permanent armor up buff, increasing armor rating by 20% per stack. When the defender is struck, reset the timer for creating an armor up buff. But then you're doing, each time a cosmic attacker lands an attack, they have a 10% chance for each armor break. Okay, so we obviously want to be doing armor breaks. Corvus, CGR and Corvus. All right. CGR and Corvus. If I had a ranked up Cole, I would bring him. You know who I kind of want to bring, but I have no clue how to play him right now is Terrax. Doesn't Terrax do a really nice armor break too? All right, well, we'll jump in and we'll see. And then who's the boss for this? Who's the boss? There's got to be a boss somewhere, right? Am I looking right at the boss and just can't find him? This is weird. Oh, it's Mr. Fantastic. That's right. He was pictured. Blast to the special 2. Each time the attacker is inflicted with the defender gains a fury. Who's this? Who's great for this? Whenever taunt debuff is applied to the attacker, it drains 50% of their max power. Each time the defender is attacked. Stealth Spidey? Alright, let's give it a go. Alright, so we'll load up on Cosmics and bring in Stealth Spidey and see what happens. You got it, Crazy G. I hope it was helpful, and let me know how it goes. Corvus. Does anyone feel like they're very confident in how to play Terrax? He's someone I want to dive into very soon and learn to play him with his buff. I'm pretty excited for it. Stealth Spidey. Ooh, and oh no, there's no evade counter there. There's no evade counter. And Squirrel Girl. I really like Squirrel Girl. Watch Lags or Seaton's video on Terrax. Okay, yeah, I'll try. Both of them, they do such a great job, I think, of showing like where this guy is going to be amazing. But I like them both. They're both great. John, Kingpin it? Yeah, but there was something there on the evade, wasn't there? Because that's who I was thinking about, Kingpin with Hood. Let's try that. I think that would be more fun. I love Kingpin. Let's give it a go. And the worst thing that happens is we get there and realize it didn't work. Q, read last if you can. All right, buddy. Nihilus gives June guaranteed crits and heavies. I feel like you're talking about something else, bud. Go ahead and just write it again if you don't mind. And AC, what's up, buddy? How are you doing? You know how to play Terrax? All right. if you don't mind, if you could do it in like 2 or 3 sentences. I know he's probably way more complex than that, but if you can, that would be awesome. John, you can purify the debuffs after every special you land. Should be good time. And if the disorient or evaded, more fuel for the fire. All right, and we'll bring the HUD just to see how it goes. All right, let's do this. Let's jump into it. Let's have some fun. Duke, what is up, man? How are you doing? Thank you for stopping by. We're going a little longer today. So I think we'll have some fun here. Oh, you know, Q, I thought I read that. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm still concussed and I don't realize it. I wouldn't realize it. That's the problem. MCOC Hayes, I just got my second 6-star. It was Colossus. Dude, congratulations. Only 2 6 stars. Nick Fury and Colossus. Dude, I don't have Nick Fury. Congratulations to you. That is awesome. AC, with the rock stacks, get the opponent to 10 armor breaks. Use SB2 whilst at 10 armor breaks. Repeat SB2. When do I heavy? That's my question, because doesn't the heavy get rid of all your power, or it takes you out of rock stack mode? Dude, got 5 minutes. Oh, dude, well, I appreciate you stopping by as always. Thank you so much. How's the new EQ? Not so bad. I mean, I've my roster's pretty overpowered for it, and we're definitely overpowering the content right now, but able to chat and do it, so not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, huge congrats to MCOC Hayes. Colossus and Nick Fury as your first 6 stars. Heavy before you go below 2 bars of power. Heavy before I go 2 bars of power? Let me read AC's comments here again. With the rock stacks, get the opponent to 10 armor breaks. Use 2 SB2s. Use SB2 while at 10 armor breaks. Repeat SB2. Well, let's see how this plays out. And if it's just going terribly, I'll back out or something. But let's go ahead and do this. Let's have some fun. Original waves. You got your third Sunspot. These pulls from everyone. They are incredible. Nick Fury, Sunspot, Colossus. That is insane. Each time a defender. Okay. All right, let's just do this. Enough talking. Let's have fun. The worst thing that happens is we use some items. I think this is one of those ones where we're just going to try to get straight to the SB2. We'll do no decks here and see how this is. I have a feeling we're going to be more than fine. Yeah. Yeah, okay. This is... Cosmic Ghost Rider is excellent for fighting Killmonger. MCOC, does Nick Fury need to be awakened? Or does he... No, he does need the awakened ability for that second life. It's a pretty big part of his kit, but just even having the initial awakenings is fine for offensive purposes. That being said, you are more on your way to Nick Fury than I am. I don't even have him as a 6-star. So congratulations. When do you think we'll get Thronebreaker difficulty, Vega? I don't know. I wouldn't mind it soon. My understanding is Kabam's getting quite a bit of negative feedback on the EQ. And again, my understanding on the negative feedback is that it's too long. And I would agree with that in a way. I always hate saying that content is easy. I think if you have my roster or if you have intense skill, then yeah, it's not that bad. So I wouldn't mind seeing something a little tougher. Like, I know that we all want to get away from the super niche. I wouldn't mind something in that direction that's shorter, but like, you're not going to just be able to muscle your way through it. And so I wouldn't mind something like that. I really wouldn't. But if earlier in the stream, I was saying that I don't mind that Kabam slows us down too. I know that I think that's part of the point of RNG. Is Terax going to be bad for Guardian because of the energy resistance? He probably is, right? Maybe we'll just Corvus this. I'm thinking about taking my Corvus to rank 3, my 6-star. I've resisted doing it so far. Corvus is just so good. I just don't see him not being relevant for such a long time. I was getting all excited about the immunities of Terrax, and I was like, why do these sound so familiar, though? And then, of course, I realized Corvus has them, and more. And I'm one of those people who doesn't mind switching back and forth between suicides and not. I tend not to like to do it on stream if I don't need to. But for war or AQ, I'll do it for sure. Oh, that was a mistake. All right, let's whittle this guy down. What do you guys think? Any reason to not R3 Corvus? I mean, I don't really need him. But man, it'd be nice to have and fun. And he's like one of the best cosmic champions in the game. I don't know. I think I'm going to take him up. Jeremy's answering the. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate you. I appreciate you answering the questions. RR is doing the same. Hey, do you think Blade is worth his skill awakening gem? I have 2 generics and no Nick or Aegon. I think it depends on where you're at in the content. If you're still pretty early on, then yeah, I think so. Blade is a great champion. There's a reason why he's so well thought of. I apologize if I'm wrong, but I think it's like Act 5 where he's just amazing for it. I remember I had him. Yeah, it's got to be Act 5. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but he's just fantastic for it. He's a great champion, the ability to heal and those sorts of things. So in my opinion, yes. If you're at that point, if you're like an Act 6 or 7, then no, hold on to it. Jason Fernandez, what is up, dude? You've missed it. Somehow in it feels like in like probably 30% of my streams, we have at least one Dreamin' conversation. We've had 2 so far. And my basic stance was I like him because he's not a hypocrite and because I think he straddles that line between being mean and being hard on someone. And I think he adjusts it based on his relationship with that person, right? Like some people they enjoy going back and forth at each other. And the other people, he's just honest. He's honest, but he accepts it back on himself. So Q, I see you know Jason. So and this Jason is like my nemesis here. I'm constantly, some part of my brain is constantly trying to decide, am I going to try to stay ahead of him in prestige, or am I just going to give up on that because he's probably going to pass me anyway? And so should I just accept my fate now and put my Sig Stones into fun champions and not be worried about prestige? So I think Clown's also here to taunt me a little bit. Ooh, does anyone mind? I want to check this out. I want to see who the boss that we're going to face here, and then we'll get right back into the EQ. Punjabi, hey, Vega, what you think about the Hulkbuster synergy with Yellow Jacket? 65 increased potency on his power stings. If I run Hulkbuster, will that make... I don't know, man. I mean, I think there's a real chance for something like that, right? And Hulkbuster's a great champion on his own right, especially if you like already have Hulkbuster, you have him ranked up and you enjoy using him. I think that's worth a chance. That happens a lot with these new champions. Like we get them and they're not like great, obviously great right out of the box, and so we kind of just forget about him. Kind of like I was talking about with Morningstar earlier, where I just wasn't good with her in the beginning, and then I just kind of forgot about her. So test that out. That sounds awesome. I mean, that sounds like a thing. And when I get around to testing Yellow Jacket, I'll test it too. I have a rank 2 Yellow Jacket. I took him up before the buff went live, and so I will check that out too. Terrax will be first, but then I'll get to Yellow Jacket as well. I will not join War, but I just want to check it out. I'm hoping for Killmonger bosses. We're not really seeing those anymore, but I was getting kills. Ooh, MODOK. That's going to be a thing. Clown, are you going to get that? Are you going to be taking that? I'm curious who's going to take that. That's going to be interesting. Oh, here's that fight I was talking about with CGR. where there's a moment in the fight where if you do it right, you're going to solo this easily. If you do this wrong, you're never going to get power, which is what I think Work's big complaint, or not complaint, but the downside to CGR was. If you do it wrong, you're never going to gain power, and because of Buffet, you will never be able to take down... oh, that's not even Killmonger, is it? That is Black Panther. My bad. But still. Anyways. All right. That would be an interesting fight. I'm curious to see how that gets assigned. Clown and B-Man do such a great job assigning fights. All right. Is Mole Man better than Corvus? Now, Brandon, I can't imagine that he is. I know he's really good, but I think there's a reason why the joke is that Mole Man is a skilled Corvus, not that Corvus is a cosmic Mole Man. I think Mole Man might be closing in, getting closer, but no, Corvus is Corvus. John, Caban keeps saying that they're trying to make the time it takes shorter, but the easiest is to make chapter one energy at every difficulty. Yeah, for me, it's not even necessarily about the energy, but I see how that would make it shorter. I get your point. For me, it's just about like the amount of fights, like how long does it actually take? I'd prefer the fights to be harder and have there be less of them, as opposed to what it can kind of feel like attrition. Like you need to use items just because over the course of block damage and things like that, you're going to have to use your items. But, you know, we all have our things, and I respect what you're saying, of course. All right. AC was trying to tell me how to play Terrax. I've already forgot most of it. But let's have fun. Let's see what happens. All right. And then I think you can refresh the armor breaks with lights. All right. I'll try to build up to the SP2. Got to refresh this armor break now. This is cool because they last long enough where you definitely don't need to end all your combos in a light attack, which I know was one of the complaints. Well, SP2, and that should start the rock field, right? Oh, he's not going to live through that. I was paying so much attention to my own side, I did not pay any attention to Gwenpool's SP3. Oh well. Whoa! I'm gonna have to look back at the nodes. Are we getting a Fury or something from the node? Is our damage being increased by the node? That was a 55k heavy, right? I think that was a 55k heavy. Oh, yeah, so we are getting an indefinite passive Fury. Okay. All right. All right, cool. That I was like, holy smokes, that's just an R2. All right. Q, well, Corvus is definitely worthy R3. I think he's top 3 in the entire game. RR, why wouldn't I take Corvus to R3? It work. I hardly ever use him and still took an R3. Okay, I think those three questions together, and based on comments and things, I know you three know the game well. I think I probably will just do it. Basically, it's a matter of I don't have the need. I haven't needed him for anything. But, you know, great champions are great champions. I do like him, too. I actually really like Corvus. This isn't like Stealth Spider for me. Jason, I'm really happy I saw the Dreamin' Conversations. Original Dreamin' is a player in the Alliance for Loki. A lot of folks, once I joined for Loki, I learned that a lot of folks who, subscribe to the channel and join the streams know a lot of the other people in For Loki, and Dreamin' is like he's basically like a character. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's a character it's a conversation about a person whose in-game name is Dreamin'. Work in progress. Yeah, I admire that a lot about you. That you are a very skilled player. You have a really big roster, but you also take like how much you actually enjoy a champion into account with your rank ups and things like that. It is admirable. Groot. Groot, huh? Let's see how our boy the Hood does here. Have some fun. I actually brought Hood up to rank 2 a long time ago. I thought I would be so elated when I got Ghost for the first time. I was like preparing for it. For what I thought was my inevitable. And then it took me forever to get Ghost. I finally got her, and I am so excited to have her. I still haven't ranked her up, though. All right, come on. Sabby, am I Indian? No, I am not, but I could definitely feel, I feel like I look like I could be. I'll take that as a big compliment. Thank you. I did not do that backdraft very well at all. And I think we're seeing why so few people rank up Hood. Not that I'm playing him perfectly, but damage is not his forte. And I guess all these armor up buffs aren't helping matters, are they? But we'll get there. There's something about that backdraft that's feeling weird against Groot. All right, I think we're into the rotation here now. Hen, what's up, buddy? Thank you so much for stopping by. All right, this definitely is taking a little longer than I expected. Some of that is my fault. Some of that is the Hood's. But we're getting him down. We're whittling him down. Mole God for the boss. You know, I don't have Mole Man. I think that's part of why I don't like him now. I think it's turned into a Nick Fury situation where I'm just going to pretend I just don't want them at all. But I do have to admit that they exist in the game. All right, we are getting there. We are getting there. That was pretty cool. The invisibility saved me there. That was pretty interesting. KD, can I show my masters very quickly? Sure. Yeah, no problem. We can take a look at those. I do have them. They're kind of screwy though right now because I placed war defense and we're not running AQ or anything like that. So I'm not using all my points, as you can see there. So actually, we'll show them real quickly, but they're not. This isn't what I would normally have. So, but that's what I have in the offensive tree. For me, this is what I run, so that way, if I'm going to need to use suicides, I can, or if I don't really usually use a lot of bleed champions, but if I need to put them into deep wounds, or for war, sometimes I'll then move them into more of the defensive stats, get the health up or something like that. And then I almost constantly run 5/5 Mystic Dispersion. I really like it. I love Mystic Champions. I've gotten used to playing them with 5/5. Like you saw it with Hood there a couple times, where I got pushed to the SB3 when I really would have preferred not to. But I'm used to that price of Mystic Dispersion, and I'm happy to pay it. And then I place. I think I'm only placing one Mystic Defender for war, but it is important for them, so that's why I do that. Work, yeah, you get it. Yeah, so that's why that heavy was so massive there at the end. Still really fun though, and I know that there is a way to play him where you're cycling the SB2s. At least I feel like there is. I'm obviously not doing that correctly though. Benjamin, Vega is AA Archangel. Yes. So when I say AA, I'm definitely referring to Archangel. I am trying to write it out though more because I know not everyone uses that abbreviation. John, thanks for answering the question. KD, Hood should just use the Hood to his advantage, disappear from the game. Yeah, but then we wouldn't have the fun synergies for Kingpin and Ghost, right? That would be a problem. We can't have that. If you have a replacement option, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. They've tried with Hood too. He's got the synergy with Strife that ups his damage while he's invisible. There's another synergy that makes him like invisible longer. I think there's this. Is it with Ghost where he starts to fight? Like they're trying so hard to capitalize on him being invisible and making it good. I think eventually they're just gonna have to bite the bullet and realize he needs a numbers update, although his damage wasn't even considered good when he came out. So it's not like the game has just progressed and passed it by. But he's awesome. He does a lot. I mean, he got that fight down. It's not his fault. Q, has anyone told me that with the beard I look a lot like Boyka? No, I have not heard that one. I've heard a lot of interesting ones. One the person said was not meant to be an insult, but I'm pretty sure it was. He said I look like the guy who played Mr. Bean. I was like, what? Okay. So I'll have to look up this Boyka. All right. I feel like this is going to go poorly, and I just don't know why it's going to go poorly, but it will. And but let's find out. Poor Hulk. My buddy Strands thinks that Hulk is actually going to improve in this game. And I bring up Strands because the guy has a real knack for seeing the value in champions before the rest of us do. Like he was on Human Torch before anyone on YouTube was. He was on Sorcerer before anyone I knew was. And he's got a couple other really big hits. I just can't think of them at the moment. And he actually thinks that Hulk is going to become... I think I've done it to myself here, haven't I? Wow. So that animation actually felt pretty Hulk-like. That was pretty fun. Let's see here. KD, man, why is Cable roaming around with a knight's armor now? Thinking he can be starting 5-syllable. Cable? You don't like Cable, KD? Are you talking about the Cable in yeah, I mean, there's only one Cable, right? So Cable, I was actually already starting to kind of, he was growing on me before the Horseman stuff came out. He's part of some really cool synergy teams. My throat's getting dry. But with Warlock, sorry, excuse me for a second. I believe it's with Warlock. He's pretty good. And then I think it's like you throw Sunspot on the team. And I'm not a big fan of just like throwing in champions for the sake of it. Like when I was doing the Kingpin video. I wanted to show him without Mr. Sinister because I don't think Mr. Sinister is that great of a champion. I actually think that there's a price to pay for bringing him on. You're missing out on bringing on another champion. Rob, thank you so much for checking in, buddy. I'm pretty sure we'll be doing the same time tomorrow. Hopefully we see you. If not, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much. And then the Horseman stuff came out. Archangel is, I think, the best of those champions that have those synergies. Cable is incredible, though. In fact, this, my buddy Strands, funny that you say this. Maybe that's what got me to say it. I saw this. Is sending me some Cable gameplay. He has an R3 Cable. He is just melting opponents. Just absolutely melting them. It's pretty cool. So, I don't know. Still made me laugh, though. Crazy G, I like that he carried me through a lot of 6. Yeah, that's right. Chalize, I think, used Hood for the 6.2 boss, too. He lacks the damage, but if he gets the job done, right? That's what's important. Yeah, so I'm realizing how far back I am in the chat now. That was definitely max Mystic Dispersion. Yep, that's exactly what that was. All right, we'll probably go for about another 9 or 10 minutes here. I didn't want to do that. I tried to land the reparry, but it wasn't happening. That's okay. We'll just go. So, I've been saying this for a while. I know there's been continued improvements on the various rotations and things for Cosmic Ghost Rider. But if you do that, just it's not a big deal. Save your power gain if you can. We'll go ahead and Dex freely now, which is, I think I'm about 50-50 on Venom's SP2. So I'm going to try to bait this SP1 if I can. Cool thing is if we get hit, we'll just trigger another Judgment. And it won't be that big of a deal. Oh, see? There we go. Which means our power gain is going to last even longer now. Henry, yeah, those victory scenes are cool. I agree with that. I should have paid more attention to that for the Hood. I so rarely use him. Watch how long the power gain's now going to last. And then we just reset the whole thing. And it's over. I mean, I know there's so many videos out. I think I did 4 on Cosmic Ghost Rider. But that is a great example of exactly what I was trying to get folks to just kind of get over. Because I know when he first came out, the whole idea was like, oh, if you ever trigger Dex, you're done. Like, oh, the fight's over. But if you do, it's fine. Just reset the whole thing and you will totally be okay. And if anything, it's a chance for you to get that, to just do the fight normally and maybe not take a heavy to the face or something like that from being so concerned about Dex. Get to that SP3. And then because you've triggered the 5 judgments, you just trigger the extra one. They're, I can't think of the word, but they're powered up, for lack of a better term, significantly more. And so the power gain is just going to push you all the way to SP2, and then the fight's over. It just really closes the amount of time you have to worry about not triggering Dex. Benjamin and Vega, who's your top 5 characters to play? Let's do this fight, and then we'll do that before we sign off. But Doom is definitely up there, 100%. I love him. He's like the epitome of what I want in a champion. Mystics are my favorite anyway. So, Captain Dante, we need a synergy spot for champs. You just bring for synergy. So if anyone plays fantasy football, would that be like the IR spot? Or the utility spot? Maybe that's a better analogy for it. All right. Let's see. All right, let's just see what happens here. Let's see how this goes. I think this is going to be... I'm going to try something there. I apologize. Oh, okay, so that's not available. I'm sure not everyone wants to see this. So this is how you're supposed to do it. I want to record this just in case it goes really well. So yeah. I want to try to, I'm going to try to bait this. And then I would like to throw my SV3 with him having as little power as possible. So we're going to get that nice stun. And then we're just going to be able to go in here and belly him in the corner. And then if we get enough of those in a row, that's going to give him that other big fury. And should be some big numbers here. Nope, shoot. I was surprised at how much power he had, and that threw me off. So that was my fault completely. We still had the nice stun, just didn't take advantage of it at all. That is on me, not on Kingpin. I can't remember the node at the moment, but I know that there was a pretty big negative to Mr. Fantastic potentially evading. Maybe it wasn't that bad, and so I'm being more scared of it than I need to be. But I prefer not to trigger it if I don't have to. One thing I would like to point out is how much health Kingpin still has in this fight. All right, here we go. Now I'll do what I should have done the first time. We'll go in with the bellies in the corner. Oh, he was a jerk about it. We'll intercept, and that should end it. So not the best Kingpin showcase, but I think you get an idea of what the guy can do. I really love him. We'll review that note a little better. I'm sure I could have played that a little better. And he's not an evade counter. That's not his thing. Top 5 characters in the game. Yeah, let's take a look at that. So this is just going to be who I like the best. This isn't going to be who I think are the best, okay? That's just who I enjoy. I feel like that was the essence of the question there. Let's see here. Doom, absolutely, without a doubt. I do enjoy Guardian. Let's see if he makes the top 5, though. Doom, Archangel, without a doubt. Cosmic Ghost Rider are an easy top 3 for me. I'm not kidding, and there might be a little bit of recency bias with this, but Abomination is moving his way into this for me, 100%. I enjoy Spider-Ham, but I don't think he's good enough. One of the things that all these characters have in common is being extremely good. I think Spider-Ham is very good. And I really do like Sorcerer Supreme. I have to say, I really enjoy her quite a bit. And Kingpin is getting up there for me as well. He can do a lot, folks. And especially on the debuff lane, take a look at him with the Hood synergy. He's pretty awesome. He is pretty awesome. All right. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. I know it looks like there's a few... looks like I missed a few questions. I apologize. I do need to get going, though. So you need more apoyo? You are a good streamer. I hope you're talking about me. Thank you. ¿Y qué tal te parece la mejor de T-Rex? My Spanish is not good enough. You could probably even hear it in the accent. That wasn't that great. I am sorry that the best T-Rex. There's a couple in there that I don't know how to translate, and I apologize. I apologize for that. All right, John, thanks so much for stopping by, everyone. Good luck with your war. And yeah, dude, the Savvy, I feel like I could go another 2 hours. I just have to go. Let's raid KT. He's my boy. Helped me get my start with for absolute sure. We became friends. Hopefully that didn't just come through really loud on everyone's ears. I apologize if it did. But let's raid KT1, please. He helped me get my start. We became friends when we were NY together, and he was so supportive of this whole thing for me. I'll always be grateful to him. So thanks so much for stopping by. Roxas, dude, again, thank you for the membership. We'll make sure we get you in that members channel. Everyone, I really enjoyed this. John, thanks for Z for stopping by on the stream, and we will catch you all. We should be on tomorrow. Take care, everybody.